Hello, my name is Ray Salazar, and this is Morning Reel, a 3 to 4 100-minute or so podcast of films that I review, the old and the new, from Canada to Norway, Mexico, USA, Japan, China, India, you name it. There's a film, and you name it, I'm going to review it. Unless, I don't like certain filmmakers, right? Either way, this morning, and good morning, I talk about, and you know what? Happy August. It is the last day of August. August has been fun. What a tense month, right? Either way, make way for September. Today I review Eastern Promises. It's a 2007 Canadian gangster film directed by David Cronenberg from a screenplay written by Stephen Knight. Man, this is my first David Cronenberg film, and what a film I chose to review of David Cronenberg. I'm more into his sci-fi work, like The Fly, Scanners, Videodrome, crap like that, right? I mean, good crap, right? But of all the films that I chose to review, it's this one. And you know what, man? This film was chosen because it just looked interesting from seeing Viggo Mortensen playing a Russian mob guy. I mean, he has the look. Obviously, he has the look on screen, right? But I want to see where this goes. I want to see if he nails the accent, right? And I've talked about accents before on a prior film that I reviewed. I don't know, man. I feel like he nailed the accent pretty well in this film. Eastern Promises. All right. Produced by Paul Webster and Robert Lantos, starring Viggo Mortensen, Naomi Watts, Vincent Cassel, and Armin Mueller-Stahl. Cinematography by Peter Sushkitsky. Man, it's quite a fucking name. Edited by Ronald Sanders. Music by Howard Shore. Dang, I haven't heard that name in a long friggin' time. I don't think I reviewed a film with Howard Shore in it. But man, I've been wanting to find the film with the score made by Howard Shore. Dope. Production companies: Focus Features, BBC Films, Astro Media, Chorus Entertainment, Telefilm Canada, Kudos Pictures, Serendipity Point Films, and Scion Films. I don't know if it's related to the car company. Distributed by Pathé Distribution, Alliance Atlantis, and Focus Features. And this film barely beat the budget, man. The budget was $50 million. Box office of $56.1 million. Dang. Just barely. I give this film a 3 out of 4 tokes. What? Really, Ray? 3? Not 3.5? Not 4? Yeah, man, 3. I had a problem with the third act. I didn't like the third act a lot. I felt like it was weak. But I don't want to just go all the way to the third act, but look, man, it's not a bad movie. It really is not a bad movie at all. It's good. It's written well. It's not crazy good, but I mean, I think I expected more just out of a screenplay, period. I mean, I'm pretty sure the actors did their best job playing the characters, right? As far as the screenplay is concerned, I mean, for 140 minutes, I think they could have packed a little bit more into it, or either put more into one scene, or write instead of writing the scene, not writing it out or whatnot, just dissect it a little bit more, because I like that this film has dialogue to push the story. It doesn't really serve much on violence, even though there's a violent scene in this film, which is actually one of the best scenes in the film, as far as writing is concerned, because I mean, it doesn't look messy when you see the action going down. I mean, it's visually messy, but not messy as far as when you read the script and you're like, oh, okay, I get it. I get what's going on in this scene, and visually speaking, it does serve as, it's very strong. Either way, apart from that scene, I don't mind the dialogue. I mean, honestly, the dialogue really carried this film, and the actors. But like, the only person honestly that was overacting, but like because he really just wanted to like make the character as legitimate as possible is Vincent Cassel's character. His character is like what you expect from a sociopath, and in the sense, right? And it's crazy. All these characters are interesting characters too. Like even Naomi Watts' character as the midwife who wants to figure out whose baby this is. All right, so quickly the story, very quickly, because it's one of these films where like as every scene goes, it just like unwraps this onion full of deceit, of lies, of dark secrets, stuff that like normal people such as me and like the next person, we don't get to see the life. We don't get to live the life, you know. We only hear about it. I mean, we see it, but we see it through media. This midwife, right? She's a nurse. She delivers babies. She delivered this one baby. The mom died, and she wants to figure out, you know, where this baby's family is gonna, like, what's gonna happen to the baby, basically, this newborn. What's gonna happen to it? Is it just gonna go straight to foster care and all that crap? Straight to the country system or the state's system? She doesn't want that, and the reason why she doesn't want that is because at one point in her life, she couldn't make a baby. Like, sucks on her, and obviously that's some trauma she carries that trauma through the ER and all that stuff. I like how this character in particular, Anna, it's Anna because it's two N's. I just like that you get to see why the character is how she is, and it's because of past trauma that we don't get to see. It's mentioned, and already just by mentioning it, it doesn't need to be mentioned again, because how her actions in the film, how they play out, drive other people in the film too. So in a way, Anna's a catalyst, and she pretty much kind of drives the whole film. But in a weird way, she sort of shares that role with Viggo Mortensen, because his character, I mean, he plays a driver in the mob, right? Russian mob in London. But it kind of seems like he's just more than just a driver, and it kind of seems like he'll be doing much more than just driving for the London, for the Russian mob. They know that he wants to get down, but to get down, you gotta go through, an initiation of, well, not an initiation, but like just like a ceremony, like in The Sopranos, kind of like that, that type of thing, where like you gotta draw your skin, you gotta put your body into the test, right, into the passage, either way. So that's what the film's about. She wants to figure out where this baby's gonna go, and nobody else really wants to kind of help her out on that. A diary is left, and when it's left, she tries to figure out some answers, and they're in Russian, right? So she tries to get help from her family, and in some weird way she's getting some help from the driver, man, and it just goes deep. It's that film where Curiosity Killed the Cat, where you find something and you just go deep into it. You go into this rabbit hole, and now next thing you know, you're in this friggin' world of Russian mobs, and then like, playing through the system, hiding, and stuff like that. And it's crazy how you can get yourself involved in it. It sort of reminds me of the film Blue Velvet, where the dude finds the ear and he takes it to a cop, and then boom, like everything just like he just goes into a world where he's just like simply not prepared for it, and whether he's prepared for it or not, he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna go through this shit, and Anna's like that. She goes through the shit, and it kind of makes her a good character out of the whole, out of everybody in the film. She's just the best character, really. And Viggo's as well. I like his character too. Now, problems with this, well, before I get into the problems, the good things about this film is honestly, I like its dark undertone. I like the fact that we can never figure out exactly what's gonna go down. It's a rabbit hole things just uncover and develop and uncover and develop, and it's great. I love the visuals. Cronenberg just really knows how to make you feel uncomfortable, and he doesn't care. And I like that he doesn't care. Um, he will show you thumbs being chopped off. If not, you'll hear it, and it's one of the most realistic sounds you'll hear of a thumb getting snipped off. Right? That's been been in been in the hands of a Russian mob. Right? Um, Dialogue is great between the characters, even in Russian. Like hearing some of the characters talk, you automatically kind of be convinced that, whoa, we're looking at Russian characters here, and as articulate as it sounds, it is frightening at the same time. These characters are cool. They have motivations. They have reasons why they are the characters that they are, and why they do things the way they do in the film, as it, pushes the story forward. This is a mysterious film. I like that it's a plain and simple mysterious film. There's no explosions. There's not even a gunshot. Imagine writing and directing a Russian mob, film thriller that has no gunshots, no explosions. You get to see bodies being dumped off. You get to see limbs and fingers being, snipped away. Cold ass dialogue. Um, the 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 stories of some of the characters. I mean, there's narration in it from the dead girl who birthed the child. We're trying to figure out, what's gonna happen. Where does baby come from? Not that where does baby come from, but like who fathered the baby? And we get to know who fathered the baby, and it's the most craziest crap ever, even in the film. And when you think about it on a real, because look, man, this film is fiction. It's fiction, but at the same time, you can't help but wonder and think that like the film that I just saw, Eastern Promises, I'm pretty sure there are stories of people going through the exact same thing that the film went through. I mean, I wouldn't go so far as like involving like, authorities, like national authorities, stuff like that, like KGB type thing, FSB type thing. I mean, FSB is a character of its own in the film. I didn't even know that. I don't even know what FSB was until I saw Eastern Promises. And Cronenberg, man, he knows what to show us. But I feel like in the third act, though, just in the third act, and like even the visuals couldn't save this third act as far as like making us feel for the characters. Even Vincent Cassel's character, his character Kirill, at the end, you feel for this guy, man. You feel, and it's just weird how Cronenberg placed his character towards the end of the film. Like this guy's kind of fucking wild. He's wild. He's not entirely crazy, but he's wild. And you see him like talking to a little kid, who appears to probably is his daughter or someone very, very, very close to him, and the way he's talking to her is so just like complete 180 of this character. Like this character is wild. This character wanted to like watch his associate like bang a girl to make sure that he's not gay, to make sure that this guy is like 100 about joining the Russian mob. Crazy, dude. I mean, every mob has their ways, right? I guess. I mean, that's just one way, I guess, out of the whole process, right? But seeing that character Kirill just be so, compassionate and kind to the little girl Maria, it's just fucking great acting from Vincent Cassel, man. Like this guy's I wonder if he's won an Oscar. If he hasn't, he should have won one by now. Like he's the real deal, man. He's the real deal, and he can really stand up next to Viggo Morrison. As like as far as their acting abilities and as far as how their characters are. They're not equals. I mean, they're equal as men, right? But they're not equals as far as like how they are about. Obviously one is more good than the other, and they're both bad because I mean you gotta see it. I'm not gonna spoil it, man, but yeah, the third act, man, weak ass third act. instead of having the characters tell us what's going on through like conversations, right? We want to see the action go down, and I didn't really see that much action in the third act go down. Is it because they spent so much money on the fight scene alone? Is that it? I really had a problem with this ending where I felt like it was soft, even for a David Cronenberg film. Like, even though it's not a sci-fi ex, you know, gore explosive of a nightmare of a film. Like, we're talking about like just like a Russian gangster film. Or even like, dude, just at the fact that it's a gangster film, it is a weak ending for a gangster film. And it's funny because I didn't think of it too much of a gangster film either. It really dealt with family. It dealt with family. It dealt with getting to know what you want as like a, I guess as a parent or to become a parent, right? And it's funny, man. Like all these films that I'm watching about fucking parents and family and all that shit, but like especially in films like a David Cronenberg film like Eastern Promises that deals with the Russian mob, even family plays a big role, especially in the mob itself, where like the Kirill's father, who is El Mero Mero, the mob boss, like you can tell that this man, in his own weird way, values family, values the bloodline. I mean, he sticks up for his son Kirill a lot, like more than he should really be, because Kirill's he's a grown ass fucking man, and his father, he's an old ass fucking man. They're old, one way older than the other, right? There's just some dads or moms out there who, no matter what their daughter or son does, like say they murdered somebody or whatnot, or beat the crap out of somebody, worst comes to worst, and somewhere there are just some folks out there who are just gonna protect their own like that, even if they did something totally wrong, especially in the world of gangs and mobs, mafia, stuff like that, man. Like it's quite a code to live by, and we kind of ask ourselves, how far are we willing to go until justice is served, until we know exactly when we see something that is wrong, we have to act upon because it is wrong, and I got that out of the film. I love Viggo Mortensen's character, of the fact who he represents at the end of the film. And again, the third act, man, that ending, weak, dude. It's just so weak. Like everything else up until the point where we are out of the hospital. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, right? And this film is on Max, by the way. HBO Max. Either way, my name is Ray Salazar. Follow me on Morning Shot Films on IG and on YouTube. Check out my website, morningshotfilms.co. I give this film 3 out of 4 tokes. Honestly, because of the third act and its ending. Everything was gripping and intense until the third act. Honestly, I just wasn't feeling the third act, like as far as the ending is concerned. I watching the film, I was easily convinced that the baby was not gonna die. And I'll leave it to that as far as the spoiler. But then again, when you watch the film, you'll straight up tell you will know for sure that you'll see that the baby was gonna live. The baby was gonna live, and I really expecting something a little bit more intense, but I guess not. And I appreciate it for the most part. Either way, thank you, David Cronenberg. I'm definitely gonna review other of his films. I'm not sure which one. I want to see A History of Violence, actually. I actually have never seen that film, ever. And I think that film came out before Eastern Promises or after. I'm going to say before. I have a feeling it came out in '05, because this one came out in '07. So I feel like I got this right. And I heard History of Violence is, crazy. Like, I'm probably even a little bit more crazier than Eastern Promises. And I do like the fact that David Cronenberg and Viggo Mortensen collaborated a lot. And I actually do want to see a lot of their collaborations. Viggo's a underrated actor. He's not just Aragon, You know, he's much more than Aragon, and I'm happy that I got to see this film to fucking notice that this guy's way more than just Aragon. Thank you.